Dude. Dude. I got second. I gotta turn on the camera real quick. It's like bright as fuck outside, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I got second. Wow, it's actually not that bright. But I feel so I'm gonna turn off the face cam because I wanna look at the VOD for a second while I talk about it. Um, yeah. So I went to Frosty Faustings because everyone paid for me to be there. Actually, I listened to the commentary. I actually didn't know Kimi was the one. They, they spelled her fucking name wrong. Okay, I didn't know Kimi was the one commentating with Gaku, but that's not important. Wanna know what is important? You guys paid for me to show up to Frosty Faustings, and I got okay, they fixed it, and I got second. I got second. Dude, I looked at my bracket pad, and I was like, for sure, I was so confident that I was going to get ninth. I thought I would either lose to I thought I would lose to Chase and then struggle versus Green and maybe go like toe to toe with Kairos to get ninth or 15th. I don't know, whichever. Or that I would beat Chase and I would lose to Scrot and then lose to Fang because my win record versus Fang is not good. Also, I just realized that there's no real point in me putting this in the background when I'm going to have to fucking watch it for the commentary anyways. You know what? I'll unmute and I'll listen to the commentary while I do this. So anyway, but it's so annoying because there's too many voices, I think. So I'll just listen to the commentary later. Anyway, point of the matter is I got second. I was not expecting to beat Chase and Scrod, and then I was actually died in pools to both Rump and not Rump and Alice. So I didn't have to face him in winners semifinals or whatever. I had to face the Poke, and I actually was still worried about the Poke because if you watch my exhibition set versus the Poke and like Almo versus the World, I never uploaded, nor did I think I ever reacted to it on here, which is a mistake I will probably fix eventually. I lost to him in a first to five there, and I think he won like 4-0 or 5-0 or some shit. So I was actually considering that he could possibly beat me and send me to losers. But I beat him anyway. I beat him, I think 2-1 or 2-0. I can't remember. Anyway, point is I won. I won that. And then I'm in winners finals. And then in winners finals, it dawns on me that anytime I'm in winners finals, I typically get third. Like if you look at my online placings on like the whatever fucking site Webb uses because he's banned from challenge or some shit. If you looked at that site for like my placements, I normally get third or second. I gotten first place once in a bracket history, and that was a bracket which like nobody of any importance entered. I think the only person that entered that was even around my skill level was Whisk, I think. And I think it was me versus them for grand finals or some shit. I can't remember the fucking bracket. And I was so happy that I actually won a net play event. And now I can't even tell you who the fuck was in the bracket. But anyway, the point is, I typically get third to like Skeleton and someone else. So the fact that I didn't get third again and I said I got second and I was in grand finals of a major, dude, it feels so good. Like holy shit, it feels good because I did like I didn't play a lot of Melty Blood either. Like normally I'm like the Melty Blood grinder or whatever, and I have like a trillion games, but I have not been playing that much Melty Blood. Instead, I've just been like reviewing it a fuck ton. Ooh, H-Kkohaku 5C moment. It's less wide than H-Kkohaku's 5C, so that happens. See, this is why I was worried about watching this shit while I talked about it because I don't have a notepad or anything. This is mostly off the cuff and I didn't want to get too distracted from multiplayer gameplay. But the point is, I was in grand finals, and like I didn't win. I was in grand finals from loser side, but I almost entered grand finals from winner side. I think like if I legit just like the very last interaction, if I two seed the Heat. And if like I thought Skeleton would block after full screen heat, but she didn't. So if I two seed that instead of trying to like get all the way up in her grill in 5A, I actually probably would have won the set, which is crazy to think about. But Yeah, the fact that I did so well at Frosties has a lot to do with the fact that I was doing like mad VOD review like the 2 weeks leading up to Frosties because I wasn't really like I finished Metaphor and I've been like kind of slacking on my other JRPGs. I have not been doing much. And then, in fact, the day before Frosty Faustings, I realized that Guild War didn't start the day of Frosty Faustings, but it started like the day after Frosty Faustings, which is bad for me because then it meant that the day 2 and 1, which are relatively important in Guild War, were gonna be when I was at Frosty Faustings. And I'm not playing fucking Guild War at no bracket. No, I'm not. If I'm not at home with Ethernet, I'm not playing Guild War. So I was like, oh shoot. I was actually preparing for Guild War 2, and then it dawned on me like literally the week before Frosty that I wouldn't be able to do that much in Guild War. In fact, for reference, like I can pull up my let me pull up my thing right now. Oh, it's fucking day turn. Yeah, okay. I didn't even get that much fucking honors. I only got 700 million honors. Like normally I get like 1 to 2 billion. I only got 700 million this time because I just like I farmed meat. I think I showed my meat on like the bottom. So I farmed 6K meat. Weirdly enough, nowadays that's really all you need to get like 3 billion in Guild War, which is crazy, but that's besides the point. So I farmed the 3K meat day like the day before I had to like leave to Frosty Faustings. And I wanted to stay for all 4 days. I wanted to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it cost like a legit an extra like $70 to do that. And I was like, if I did that, I would have legit spent all the money I got from NPC's fundraiser on the trip there. And I was like, you know what? I'll just save myself a little bit of cash and I'll leave on Saturday evening as opposed to Sunday evening because I didn't want to like come back on Monday because Monday was cheaper than leaving on Saturday, but I didn't want to miss another day of work because again I thought I was going to get like 9th or 13th or some shit. I didn't think I was going to get second. I didn't think I was going to get paid out. In fact, speaking of payout, I actually got like most of it already. I just need to sign it into the Match Arena. I don't think they PayPal you the Match Arena thing. I think you have to accept it on the Match Arena site itself. So I still have to do that for my to complete my payout, which is I think gonna come up to somewhere around like I got 300 from PayPal from what they PayPal'd me. So I think after Matcherino it's gonna be up to like 360, 370, like close to 400 total from Melty Blood, man. I was again not expecting. I should have put on background music, man. It's so fucking quiet. And I have to rewatch that entire set too because I gotta hear the commentary for this entire event. I already watched all this Top 8 with commentary, but they forgot, I think, to set the VOD on Twitch to be saved. So we were kind of worrying for it, but if they were going to have the VOD up in time. So, but it's they apparently they had it stored locally for higher quality. But they were still supposed to show it on Twitch, but mistakes happen. Um, dude, what was I gonna say next? Like, okay, let's talk about things that aren't me. Actually, no. Let me continue about my bracket run real quick because why the fuck not? I mean, people paid for me to be there, and like the only reason I took this shit so seriously was because I was like, man, it's not my money. Like if it was my money, I would just fucking into chase and mentally boom myself. But people are paying for me to be there, so I was like, might as well put a little bit of effort. And I wanted to change my game plan because I'm fucking tired of losing to some of this shit. So I did like a VOD review with Sine. I did a VOD review with Zay. I did like a VOD review of by myself. I did like 5 hours or so of VOD review in like 2 weeks, which is typically I only do like 1 hour like a week. So more than twice the amount of VOD review I typically do. So I did all that VOD review, and the main takeaway is that I can't. These characters have too much fucking bullshit that they can do to you when you're up close to them, which is unfortunate because my character's whole thing is like the command grab, but she also has 2C, 2A with 623A. And while that does like piss damage, it's way safer and it's way easier to establish a threat from that range as H-Kkohaku. Now there is the issue that again I can't really threaten throw from that range. It's very difficult to do so. Like it's possible and I'm trying to get better at it, and as I play more in the coming weeks and months I'm trying to do that. Also I need to like improve the amount of damage I get on 2C hits when my opponent's in the corner. Like I actually did a little bit of labbing very recently, and some of the labbing's old that I've just not bothered implementing because again I wasn't playing Melty much. I was mostly doing raw reviews and just a couple of sets here and there. So I have things to improve on very clearly, and I also have a couple of decision making things that I want to improve on in the near future. But I guess let's talk about my sets 1v1, one by one. Okay, so I was seeded into round two of pools, and my first game was versus a relatively new CSATs. I knew they were new because they did a combo, and the counter hit me in the air, and they didn't do like a full like 6K combo. And as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, yeah, I should be relatively good to win this, but I don't want to play like a jackass and like find myself, in fucking losers to like a mega upset. So I just played solid. I played clean. I didn't do much of the standing around in the mid range thing because I figured they were new, so they wouldn't know about CSATs 2B. And I was correct, by the way. They didn't present that at all. So I did that versus them, and I won. It was relative. It was easy. 2-0 me. And then next was Kokuga, who I also had in my fucking climax path, dude. If I go to climax next year, not next year, this year, and they're in my path again, I'm gonna have to like, I might actually have to tell the seeders to like to prevent me from getting that to him because it's not man, it's unfortunate that he had to run into me again because apparently he swapped his character and he swapped to F-Alco, so he went up the tier list from C Work to F-Alco. And unfortunately, he actually picked a character that does worse than my into my character at like a baseline. And I guess you could argue that I am like my game sense is good enough that even if he swapped to like truly counter pick me, that I probably would have won anyway. Uh, yeah, I just played versus like Wark is at least relatively rare, and the only Wark experience I have is Amla dumping on me like 2 years ago. So it's possible to like bullshit me out on Wark, I think. But versus F Alco, that's a character like everyone and their mother has had like a lot of games against. So it was another 2-0 victory for me. But I guess like Kokuga is still improving. They did like a lot better into me. Like they actually took a couple rounds this time as opposed to Climax. So good shit to them. And after Kokuga, I think it was Chase. I believe it was Chase. Yeah, Chase. Like I, of course, I played Chase, but I don't know if they were my third set or my fourth. I like all my sets outside of my round one pools. Well, not round one. I was technically in round two pools, but you know what I'm trying to say. Outside of my first set, every single one was streamed. So I'm trying to remember if there was someone else after Kokuga. I don't think there was. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna. If there was, I'm sorry, but I just don't remember. So Chase, okay. They were my first big worry in the bracket because I was worried that they would actually beat me because all three Sasukis beat H-Kkohaku because like again, they just typically just hard out risk reward H-Kkohaku in neutral. And like Kohaku no neutral, while it's not like H-Kkohaku neutral is the worst of the three Kohakus, but the fact that she has 2C and can 623A relaunch you does a lot of fucking heavy lifting in the neutral department. So I was like, that's a lot of like H-Kkohaku has like the broken set play and good enough neutral in order to enforce that set play, and she can typically route shit into getting that set play. So I was, but C sats and all the sats they have 2C, which allows them to do like whack shit. Like they can like slightly like they can lock off space by doing an early ID JC or early JC and then immediately 2C underneath most of my attempts to pin. So if I want to pin them, I have to use the much slower and the much harder to space 2C to pin a Satsuki landing. And Satsuki is really, really good at moving in the air and yeah, it's hard to pin her. So I'm very scared of Satsuki. Also, if I get hit, I could always just get mixed to death. It's very like Satsuki can just fucking do that. So I was scared of Chase, but Chase they were kind of dooming about me in bracket. They thought they would lose to me like cleanly, and I didn't really believe that to be the case. I thought like Chase could have definitely knocked me into losers, but I think they just got into their own head a little too much because like the first game was relatively even. I think they took a round and I won two straight. That or I won two straight, and but both of the rounds were close and it was like really back and forth. But then they swapped to FPCL, which again higher on the tier list, but that's a character that also just struggles into my character, like really really struggles. And I have no qualms with like I'd much rather face a billion FPCLs than a billion Sasuke. So, uh, Chase just boomed themselves versus me mostly. Um, but after that, I was like sure that Scott was gonna send me to losers. I was expecting Scott to pick C Scion, but apparently he doesn't want to play Scion anymore because, well, not because he dislikes the character, but more so that she's a very high maintenance character. Like H-Kkohaku is another high maintenance character, but C Scion is also very high maintenance. And like if you're playing multiple games, if you're like a real breadwinner like Scott is, you probably don't have time to be putting all that like lab work and prep time into a character in a game that barely gets. Dude, they were on the. I need to listen to this commentary because what the fuck was happening here? Um, dude, fucking F he made round one. They were fucking killers in this bracket. Everyone who was new to Melty Blood was picking a fucking broken character or some shit, man. I don't get it. How are you gonna fucking play Melty Blood and be like, yo, I'm gonna play Hime, dude? You could play fucking Under Knife. Okay, uh, let's go back to my set with Scrot. So Scrot doesn't play. It wasn't gonna play C Scion. I was trying to win with CV Scion. And Scrot has like mad fundamentals, so it's not like his CV Scion is some troll pick that is like dog shit or whatever. His CV Scion is probably better than the vast majority of people in LGNA. I guess that's not a high bar, but I'm trying to say it's like really really good. Okay, so it's not like he picked CV Sound. Oh, he threw and he gave me the game or some shit. It was like I see the CV Sound pick. And I'm like, okay, I still need to lock in because he most definitely has better footsies than me. Uh, and we actually got like really really close. I won 2-1, and I think I like a good chunk of the reason that I won was because in round three of game one, he got a really high up Canada burst because auto burst, right? But he did not throw the burst. Like he did not air throw the burst. He tried to mediate and he mediated it with 2B. Like he didn't even mediate with the 2A. So like I see that I get hit at the top of the screen with auto burst. I actually look away from the screen because I thought he was gonna hit me. And then I look back at the screen and I see him whiffing 2B versus my burst invul. And I'm like, oh wow, he forgot. And I won. I won that game off of that. And Scar actually got like tilted like afterwards because like he was like, I would have won the set and I would have gate kept Amla out of winners finals if I remembered how HME Burst was. And I was like, yeah, he's spitting there. I mean, I definitely could have like won even if he did that. Like, I'm not saying like it was like completely because of that I got in winners finals, but also it would have been a lot harder. Like I probably would have fucking died off the gold aethero combo that Scott would do there. And also, I did like a stupid fucking bunker at the very start of the set. It was like a chump check bunker, and Scross out of chump, so I don't know why I did a bunker like that versus a setup that has like a trillion spots to fucking throw in. So except versus Scott was kind of spaghetti, like very spaghetti. But I got like the bomb Oki in it for like I think there was like a round or two in which he got like completely like fucked up by the Oki, and I'm pretty sure Scott knows what to do versus the Oki. He just guessed wrong, and it happens like that versus H-Kkohaku. Like that's the strong part about H-Kkohaku, you know. So I think I did relatively okay versus Scrot, but next time I gotta like clean it up a bit more and not do the shitty bunkers. I actually wanted to face versus Scrot C Scion because I really think that he's still probably like the best C Scion by a landslide. And I beat Dalek and all the other C Scions currently, but I want to face versus the C Scion God and see how I want to actually learn that matchup. I mean, I guess you could say I'm learning it versus Dalek, but like I'm like relatively like gapping. Well, I'm not trying to be rude here. Is that insulting? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I'm like better enough than Dalek that I don't get to learn the matchup. I don't get to see all the cheap shit all the time because I'm generally beating them in neutral. If that makes sense. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just like I want to see someone who's better at neutral than me play me in that matchup to see like some of the spots that I'm unconsciously disrespecting Seaside on it because I don't know. I don't play against masters of that character because it's very hard to find a master of a character in Multiblood. If that makes sense, I think it makes sense. Okay, so next game in my that was top 24 and that got me to top 8. So first it was versus Scott that I did just get to top to 8. So I got into top 8 winner side, and again Alps got knocked into losers. So the person who got into top 8 winner side from that part of the pool was actually Zapoke, and again, I was worried about Zapoke. I said this earlier. I'm pretty sure I talked about most of my top 8 games already, except yeah, I think I did. I talked about Zapoke. I talked about Skeleton. Uh, I think the only one I didn't talk about yet was Nick, like my set with her. So I'm gonna quickly recap my Zapoke and Skeleton sets real quickly. So, like I said earlier, I was scared about Zapoke, but I just played like super safe. Like anytime I had a like good opportunity to punish, if I knew it wasn't guaranteed or something, I would just dash block and wait for something. And because that was like the main thing that I was working on that weekend, like dash blocking and playing safely in the mid range, and it worked. Like I got a couple of big 623C punishes that were pretty huge. Excuse me, I'm just tired. Like I should have done this video like 2 days ago because I can't. I've been home since Saturday evening, but Saturday evening everyone was downstairs and it was sort of loud. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it Sunday. And then the Sunday, I just didn't fucking do it because I was lazy. So I'm doing it now. You know, gotta do it as soon as possible or some shit. Anyway, oh, I should have done it Monday too, but also like Sunday I was tired or whatever. Monday I was just fucking lazy. Anyway, that was my set with Zapoke. My set with Skeleton was close. Again, I would have won if I just fucking two seed her heat. I thought she was not going to fucking press a button. Like who heats full screen versus Kohaku and presses a button? Well, Skeleton did, and she fucking won the set. So maybe there's things to learn there. Maybe you should just fucking fit them down with two C Amla. Because even if she shielded my two C, she probably wouldn't have gotten that clean of punish because it would have been a counter hit like from 5 meters away. So I should have just hit two C. But also, man, I didn't expect that. I was actually playing like relatively on fire that set, and then I go into lost to her, and I have to go against Nick and losers. I was actually really worried because I thought KFL would might beat Nick, and then I'd have to face versus him. And like I played a set versus KFL the day before, and it was like 5 to 10, not 5-10. It was 4 to 10. I'm thinking of my set with Sine, which was like 5 to 15 or some shit like that. So like I almost won the first to three, but after that it was just KFL dumpstering on me, and I was like, all of our sets are like that, where it starts off super even at first, but then eventually KFL gets like the advantage over time or whatever. So I was really worried that I had to face him in a first to three because I think a first to two versus C arcs that are as good as KFL is much more doable than a first to three. But then Nick won, and then it was me versus Nick, which is to me much more preferable than me versus KFL, but also still scary because I sometimes like see White Len is like the perfect rage bait character. She pretty much mind controls you into being a fucking dumbass because she's very very annoying to play against, and Nick is very good at taking advantage of the fact that she knows all the mix-ups that character can do. Like all of them are like relatively fake, but there's like a trillion fake mix-ups, so if you know if she gets you one, she gets you, so you can't like you can't be forced to sleep on her or anything because you have to pretty much be like hyper aware, and if you're hyper aware for all the fake mix-ups, then you're just gonna get got by like strike throw or some shit, or you're gonna mash too late on like the obvious redash and lose. So you gotta be really careful versus Nick. But I played it really well. Like I just again I was doing that thing where I just stood around in the mid range and I just hit them with 2C 2A with 623A for peanuts. And it does so much better than you think it would, especially considering the fact that if you're really thinking about it, me doing that is kind of throwing because there's like better 2C combos that I've labbed, but also I wasn't confident in doing those in bracket. But also the bigger thing is that it does like no fucking damage unless you get like hit by like counter hit 2C or some shit. It does like only 2k damage, so you're essentially just hitting them with a glorified throw for mid screen, but you get air throw knocked out again. Like again, I'm trying to like I'm in a transitionary position right now with my game plan, so I'm trying to better weave both the mid screen pressure and the like up close pressure better together and get better at like tying them in, so I can play at ranges and distances that are both safe for me to approach while still getting like consistent throws. Like I didn't get a lot of command throws in top 8. which is like the whole point of playing my character. But also, I wasn't like fishing, like I wasn't trying to force the issue with command throws, because if I try to force it too hard, I lose really hard to like the whole 50-50 part of like strike throw and melty blood. So I'm not really comfortable with doing that yet. So I'm trying, I'm trying to like fix everything. Like there are ways to get like insured throws on H-Kkohaku using 2-2B and other shit that I'm trying to work out. And also I need to like amp up my reward mid screen versus when I hit my 2Cs. Like if you check serious discussion, I posted a post yesterday with a whole bunch of optimized 2C combos and shit. Like I really do think that maybe I could, that mid screen waffling around with 2C can actually like incur enough threat with the whole 5k damage into Oki thing, that maybe I'd be able to get people to be less proactive and make them more like willing to eat the dash up throw. Because like the thing is, if I'm doing 2C into 2A with 623A, like that's like 2k damage, as opposed to like if I run up throw you for like 4k. So I need to make strike deal more damage than throw consistently enough that my opponent is willing to sit there and take the throw. I'm going a little bit off tangent now, because that's the like the main thing about my set with Nick is that I mostly just played like really clean and really patient. Like the first game was heavily in my favor. I think I won like both rounds, and then Nick like perfected me into winning like a nail biter game too. And then I think as soon as I lost the set, I took her off her stage or some shit. I think I went to the true stage, I think, but I know I swapped the stage. Because here's a real secret from a top two placer at Frosty Faustings. If these niggas ever immediately go to a stage, as soon as you lose, you need to boot them off that shitty ass stage, dude. You have to make sure you're always on your power up stages, man. You cannot let these guys have their free advantage power up stages, not on the fucking big screen, dude. Nah. Just immediately kick them off the stage and go to a stage in which you're vibing with. Uh, so I swapped off the stage. I would go to my own stage or something, and then I think I win again. Or did I? Or was it Skeleton that I swapped the stage versus? I'm pretty sure that when I lost the game versus Nick, I swapped. I could be fucking misremembering, dude. Am I misremembering? I think I swapped the stage. I'd have to rewatch the VOD, but anyway, I won game three, and game four relatively convincingly, and I won like 3-1 versus Nick. And then I'm back in losers final, back in grand finals. I play Skeleton. She dumpsters me 2-0 at first, so I go to CSS to like reset. I do really well, and I get a game, and I'm about to like even it up 2-2, and then she does the fucking dodge of my 2C, and I lose the game from there. Which is more like I could have hit 5C at that distance, but I wasn't trying to risk it because I wasn't sure if 5C was slightly out of range. It was not. But well, she just played better. So, it really be like that. I flubbed up some of my important punishes, but also she was just playing better in neutral game 1 and 2. So it is what it is. So I had a lot of fun in bracket. Because again, I was not expecting to get second. I was expecting to get like ninth max. But so the fact that I got top 8 and not just top 8 second, it means a lot to me, I guess. Because man, I finally lived up to JG and Sane's teachings, and well, sort of lived up. There was definitely some improvements I could have made in regards to the set. Like I sort of wanted to do VOD review on the sets, but I feel like that's like too much. Like I was dropping like a fucking motherfucker in all of top 8. I don't really want to fucking look at those VODs. Like I already looked at it once. I'll probably look at it again. Maybe I'll look at it on the channel or something. But I was dropping like a motherfucker, and most of my neutral was actually relatively clean. Like there's not like any big mistakes I was making in neutral or anything. It was mostly just I was dropping combos because of tournament nerves, which is not like a big mistake. Also, I guess I should talk about the other shit that I did at Frosty, because I was there for all of Thursday, and I was there for a lot of Saturday too. So I was at the Blazing Strike bullshit that happened with the fucking grab infinite there. I was there. I was in the crowd because NPC apparently they had to like TL for that shit. And oh my lord, it was a fucking blow up. That game sucks. Like the art for the characters looks pretty, but the game in motion looks ugly. And then there's fucking no throw protection on anything. There's no true invul, so you just get fucking meaty command thrown. And the infinite took fucking forever too. Like that shit ran so late that they didn't even do CVS2 on stream. Like I legit left to take to use the restroom, and the fucking hotel had those huge ass lines for the men's restrooms, like for the stalls, all fucking day. So I was literally waiting in line, and as soon as I come back from using the restroom, they're still doing the same set because the shitty ass Infinite took so long. Like, hopefully that game looks better, and if it does get better, I might play like the Snake Lady or maybe not the grappler, the Zoner dude. But as of now, that game looks like really meh. Also, the win quotes in that game are like ass. I don't know. Like, damn, man, those win quotes are like, "You are weak" was the main win quote for the grappler dude. I don't even remember the win quote for the fucking the Kami inspired character, because I think calling them knockoffs is stupid because everyone's inspired by something, you know. So the Kami inspired character with the the fucking Cammy outfit. Like that character, her win quote was also ass. And the grappler win quote, not the grappler, the zoner win quote with the chain or shit. And the robot win quote, I saw them once. Dude, I don't even remember their win quotes because I fucking saw the grappler dude for most of that shitty ass event, man. I wish good luck to the devs. They spent like a fuck ton of money because I saw like Blazing Strike ads for the entire event. So it's like it had to have cost like the big bucks, right? So, god damn. Um, Damn, Kakuya is poopy. Oh, this is a game before mine. Okay, let me think of other shit I did. Uh, right, hotel. I stayed with Halo Hector, and it was like a last minute thing because like I kind of like it sort of like blanked on me that I need to find some place to sleep for the event. So I was like last minute asking people if they had room, and Halo Hector was a bro and actually let me stay in the room for like free, which is nice because again they didn't have to do that. So thank you a lot, Ray Hector, and the community and NPC for starting the fundraiser. Thank you guys a lot for everything. But I think with that, I finally talked about me getting second place at the event to a sufficient enough degree. I feel like it's like you guys paid for me to get there, so you got my paid thoughts on the bracket before I was there. You got my prep for the bracket in forms of me doing VOD reviews with a couple of people, and now you get my final update on the fucking bracket. I did good. I hope I was worth you guys' money. Uh, when it comes to my future multi blood plans and going out to brackets, it's probably just gonna be fucking climax. There's Boston Blue Beat, I think, but I'd have to look into how much that costs. Like I likely wouldn't be able to get like free transport. I'm not free transportation. Well, I guess technically free transportation. We're probably not running that like fundraiser again, so I'd have to save money, and I want to buy a Switch too. So it might be Switch 2 over a Boston Blue Bee, but I will definitely go to Climax. I will find myself to go to Climax because the flights to Climax, I flew Frontier and it only cost me $80 compared to like the 240 that I spent on transportation to go to Frosty. But that's also because fucking Climax is running in the middle of fucking October and August or some shit, which flight prices are down as opposed to like January, which is like January is January. Everybody's flying everywhere in January, which is probably like half the reason that the timing was, which is probably half the reason the prices were so fucking high. That and I booked the flight like 3 weeks, not 3 weeks, not 2 weeks even. I booked the flight like relatively last minute. If I booked the flight like 2 months in advance, it probably would have cost like half as much as it did. Probably. Also, if I wasn't a bitch, I probably could have gotten like a connector flight or some shit. But I don't have my passport yet because I keep forgetting to renew it. So I'll do that before I write to any more events. Like I'll get my passport shit fixed. And I might be willing to do like a 7 hour layover. There was a bunch of like I could have went to Frosty for like $100 if I did like a 5 hour layover, but man, fuck that. That's like too much time. Like doing two fucking flights and then staying in the fucking airport for 5 whole hours. Like, damn, dude, that's too much to save money. Like, time is money. Also, you feel me? Time is also money. I don't want to do all fucking that to save like 150. Like, damn, I'll just fucking use the 150. So that's mostly everything I did Climax. I should have actually entered the Pokemon CC bracket the more I think about it, because uh they had a decent setup. Like the issue with Pokemon CC, and the reason I don't like record that much shit for it on my channel, like I have a couple of docs on my hard drive, my external HDD that I was going to upload, but then I keep realizing that the issue with Pokemon CC is that it runs on a fucking bum ass engine, and that game is so fucking annoying to set up to run consistently because of the shitty engine. If it was on and literally any other engine that was not fucking delay based on online, it wasn't like so fucking laggy randomly, I would probably play a lot more of that game and you would see a lot more on the channel. But I was like, yeah, now I'll just come from LT. Also, plus R top 8 happening at the same time as a multi blood top 8 is kind of BG's. Now, I guess I should actually, you know what? When it comes to channel shit, I'll make a video in February. Like February 1st, so in 3 days. Also, I need to submit my fucking clip to Will It Kill, because I had a really good Will It Kill clip during the exhibition, during the East Coast versus West Coast exhibition, that I do actually need to upload and send to Sajam. And maybe a multi-blood clip gets uploaded there, you know. So I'll do that all now, and thank you for my final update video. Now I have to fucking watch 30 minutes of this again because I yapped for so long just to enjoy commentary. So see you guys later.